think the next big thing will actually be quite small. It will be that the technology becomes much, much more ubiquitous. We're seeing across our customer base that more and more customers are transitioning from just small pilots and POCs with artificial intelligence to really using this technology at scale. And essentially what that means is that there's some customers that have been early adopters, and there's others that have been a bit slower that we might impolitely call laggards. And the risk they face is that they become obsolescent, that in a couple of years' time, their competitors are doing things much, much faster, much more accurately, and ultimately delivering a better customer experience, better service, and getting much better results. There's a risk for some of these organizations that they face a Kodak moment, where essentially their competitors so well outcompete them that they cannot exist or survive anymore as a viable business. What that means from the consumer perspective and for Deloitte's customers is that this technology is, as I said, becoming much, much more ubiquitous, much higher adoption, and to keep up, let alone to lead, you really need to be using AI across your business, across all lines of business, from the initial service of the customer through to your back office operations. When we're looking for really good data scientists, there are a number of different skills that they need. The first is obviously a data science background. So they might have a computer science degree or a maths degree from a top tier university, Oxford, Cambridge, UCL, Imperial, you name it. The other skill though is it's not just about understanding data, but also having a good business awareness. So being able to understand a business problem and therefore implement models that are appropriate for that business situation. And finally, they also need the social skills to be able to market and explain what they've done and communicate them to the business. The challenge is that having all three of those skills is really, really rare. It's really scarce. And so there aren't that many really good data scientists. The demand for data scientists is rising like this, and the number of data scientists coming out is much, much lower. And so that's where an AI platform like DataRobot really fits in, because we make it much, much easier. And that's where an implementation partner like Deloitte fits in that you have the skill set, you have the experience of implementing these technologies with a number of customers. And that's how ultimately you can overcome this skills gap and have that trifecta of skills that you need to be able to implement a successful AI project from end to end. The single biggest blocker to adopting AI in an organization is ultimately about deploying the models and actually making use of them. So you can have a data science team, you can have an AI platform like DataRobot and build lots of fancy and lovely models. But if they aren't put into production, if they aren't used by the business, then what was it all for? It was a waste of time, money, and effort. And so what we think is really important is making sure that you have a good success plan to put those models into deployment, and you have the right capabilities in place to actually use those models. So what do I mean by that? Capabilities like the ability to understand how the models are performing, being able to explain to a business user how well it's performing, be able to explain why a decision was made by the AI, for example. The biggest blocker is being able to put those models into deployment and really use them in production. And so you need the right capabilities in place, not only in terms of AI success, having the right skills in-house or from your partner, but also having the right capabilities to understand how the model's performing, to have the analytics, and to be able to monitor and manage those models in production.